Okay, so the first question will be as follows. We need to get the information that you have been provided in the question. So just try to read through again the question so that we can now understand what exactly that we have been given that we can use to solve the final velocity, or rather to find the final velocity. Okay, so we have acceleration, which is 2, and then we also have time, which is 3 seconds, and then initial velocity, which is 10. And then what we don't have is the final velocity. So you put the question mark. So you put the question mark on what the final velocity we don't know, because that is what we are looking for, the unknown. Okay, so now having those data from the question, then we can begin to say the formula will be acceleration equals to v minus u over time. Now remember, they are looking, they are asking us to find what is the final velocity. Okay, so the final velocity is not the subject of the formula, which is v. So that supposedly means that we have to make v the subject of the formula. And this times that. Okay, 1 times v. And this time minus c. So this is t equals to Okay, so for some of you, we are maybe you are wondering why I'm doing this. Okay, the question is not direct. Okay, the question is asking me to find the final velocity, but not by definition, not acceleration. So I'm supposed to make v the subject of the formula. So if you are actually not sure how you can do this, please, there is a video that I made on how you can change the subject of the formula from one kind of a variable to the other subject, or rather to the other variable. Okay, so check out that video. It's still there, so you can learn from there and then come back and be able to do what I'm just doing right now. So now we can just plug in the numbers. Okay, so we know that this is 80 plus u. Now that this is times 3 plus u 10. This is that 6 meters per second. 10 meters per second squared divided by 3 seconds plus 10. This means 2 divided by 3 plus 10 meters per second, which is the 6. Okay, so that's how you can simply solve the first question. Make sure that even the units themselves, they are telling you that you can add them or you cannot add them. If the units were different, then that couldn't work out. So because these, what we are dealing with, they are also kind of vectors which can be added or subtracted if they have the same vector, if they are of the same unit, of course, just as we also do that in mathematics. Okay, so that this is how we can solve the first question. Now question 2. Question 2, we are saying that a motorcycle starting from rest. Okay. Now I want you to understand that the motorcycle is starting from rest. So that is the key information that you are supposed to understand. It is starting from rest. meaning that is the initial velocity, okay, at rest, meaning rest means zero velocity. The initial velocity is 0. Okay, so initial velocity is 0. Then now, and then acquires a velocity of 70 km per hour. Okay, so now 72 km per hour is just equivalent to, I think, 20 meters per second. Okay, so if you also want to know why 72 km per hour is equivalent to 20 meters per second, please check out my video. There is a video that I did on how you can convert units from a different unit to the desired unit. Okay, so I'm not going to go through over this, but if you can check out the video, then please be able to understand if that is correct too. Okay, so now now in 5 seconds, so the time equals to 5 seconds. And then what is its acceleration? So acceleration equals to v minus u over t. So acceleration is equal to 20 meters per second minus 0 meters per second over 5 seconds. So this is 20 meters per second divided by, okay, so divide by 5 seconds. So this is this is the same as that. We have 4, I'm not mistaken, 4 meters. Okay, so what is it to acceleration, which is that? Now we are solving 2 questions, we are answering 2 questions on number 2. Okay, okay, so how far equals to distance or displacement. Okay, so I can use the formula saying that displacement equals to u plus half at squared. Then I know that it is 0 multiplied by 5 plus half, open bracket, 4, and then 5 squared. So this will give me 0 plus this there, 2 into 4, it is just 2. Then this squared be 25. Then this is going to be 100. I'm not mistaken, so that will be 50. Just 50 meters. Okay, so that's how we can answer question 2. The displacement, the distance, how far an object moves, that relates to what is the distance of that object. So that's how we can solve those questions. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to the final question now, which is that the velocity of an object is uniformly reduced from this to that if the retardation is negative 3 meters per second squared. Over what distance is the body retarding? So we need the distance. Okay, So now what you need to understand is first of all we collect some data. So the object is already now in motion, okay? Object is uniformly reduced from 40 to that. So the initial is 40. The final is that. Now I want you to understand that a retardation equals to negative. Okay, so retardation means something is now slowing down. Okay, so this is an example when the car is approaching the hump. When the car is approaching the hump, it's got to reduce in terms of speed. Okay, so that's what we mean by retardation. Okay, now so you can see that acceleration equals to -3 meters per second. So it was reducing because of the negative there. Okay, and then the other information we need is I think the other information we need is time. We don't have. Okay, so they are saying if the retardation is that, over what distance is the body retarding? Okay, so from there we can find the time, saying acceleration equals to v that. Make t the subject. When make t the subject, this is going to be at equals to v minus u. Then at equals to this. Divide both sides by a. Then this is going to be that. Okay. Now from there, t, you just plug in the numbers, or rather the values. So final velocity is 30 minus initial 40 over the retardation or the acceleration. So this is going to be -10 meters per second over -3 meters per second squared. So now the negative will cancel, and then this is going to be, I think we'll discover that this one goes, then this one, then that one, then you have 10 meters. I mean, we're going to cancel. Okay, so you only have 10 divided by 3 seconds. Okay, now when you divide this, you are going to get 3.3 seconds. Okay, so just check that that is the answer you've gotten, 3.3 seconds. Okay, now we are not yet done. We are supposed to also calculate the distance. Okay, we're supposed to calculate it. Okay, so we now finally find the distance, which is just, you can use this formula. And just do that if you want. Okay, so the initial is 40 plus this. Then the time is this one. Okay, the time is here. Okay, so you can use your calculator. This is 70 multiplied by 3.3. Get 1, then divide by 2, you get 115.5. Okay, so that's the answer. That's how far the object was retardating, or the distance the object moved in the period of retardation. Or if you don't want to use that formula, then you can also use this other formula that I will show you just in a minute. Okay, so you can also say displacement equals to, final velocity equals to u plus 2as. It's 2 2as. Okay, so you can apply that formula. Final velocity is 30, initial is 40, then the acceleration was what was the acceleration? Let me just check. Okay, so there's -3 and then s. I don't know s, so this is going to be, should be 900 equals to 1600. I'm not mistaken, so this is 6 -6 over s. So 900 minus this equals to -6s. Then when you subtract that, this minus that, you get 700. Okay. Then from there, -700 equals to -6s. Okay. So this is going to give you 116.20 meters. Then remember that for the other formula, this one, we also had something like 115.5. Okay, which is just 116. Then this is also just okay, so there is just something, okay, which is the same as that. So depending on what kind of precision you're following, discover that the answers are the same. Okay, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your actually following my channel, for those who have followed my channel. But please, if you are still there who have not actually followed my channel and you want to see more of this kind of videos, please subscribe to this channel, Radical Academy, and then I'll be much more, thankful for your, support by just subscribing and liking and share. And of course, you can also catch me on Facebook, and that is a Facebook page called Learn with Professor Warrior. And then you also find the same videos that I'm sharing on YouTube to also Facebook. So it's bye, and as I told you that our next lesson will be the acceleration due to gravity, and then also we can see how gravity affects the motion of an object. So I'll see you in the next lesson. Please don't miss out that lesson. Bye, and I'll see you.